Today we are going to start the 8th chapter for class 4, that is houses then and now. So how with the time there are being different type of houses which are being constructed. Okay. So let's begin. So first of all, one day Nikita asked her grandmother what kind of house she lived in when she was young. So here we are going to understand the difference between the houses which were made in the earlier time and nowadays how these houses are being constructed. So here Nikita asked her grandmother, okay, she was asking her grandmother that when her grandmother was young, so in which type of house she used to live. So her grandmother told her that when she was young, most people lived in villages and built the kacha houses. So when her grandmother was young, she was living in a village and they used to build the kacha houses. So kacha houses are not costly, okay, because they can be made by themselves by the help of the family members. So these people are going to make the kacha houses by themselves. The cow dung is mixed with mud and is used to make the floor. So the cow dung is mixed with the mud in order to make the floor of those houses, as well as why they were using this cow dung and mixing it with mud, because it is going to keep away the insect. Okay, it will protect the floor from the insects. Next is they use mud to build the 4 walls. Then with the help of the mud they are going to build the 4 walls of the house, and in that case what they are using, the strips of the wood were joined to make the frame. So they are going to make the frame of the walls by what? By joining the strips of the wood, and they are fixing that on the 4 walls. The straw and the leaves of the trees. There are specific trees, leaves were used, like the leaf of the trees like neem, kikar were placed on the frame. So on that frame there were the leaves and straws of these trees were placed. Why these were used? Because in order to keep away the termites which would not harm the wood. And the old gunny bags are used to pack the food grains. Okay, so the old gunny bags were also placed on these leaves, and these building materials were covered with the mud to make the roof. Then these building materials are covered with the mud in order to make the roof of the kacha house. So as you can see here, this is a kacha house. It is made up of with the straws and leaves of certain trees. So these kacha houses were not very strong. As you know, the building material which is used to build these houses are not very strong. So because of that, these kacha houses are also not very strong, and people need to coat the walls every week because they are not very strong. Because of that, they need to coat these walls regularly every week. These houses also need to repair from time to time, as these are not strong enough, so they require repairment. Okay, with time to time they have to be repaired. Next thing is, let us talk about Nikita's mother. So Nikita's mother lived in a very big house which is called as Haveli. So if we talk about her grandmother, so she used to live in a kacha house. As you can see, a house which is being constructed. This is the way the kacha house is being constructed by the family members itself in the village. But if we discuss about Nikita's own mother, so she used to live in a very big house which is also known as Haveli. So the space was not a problem in those days. So many people used to build single-story house. So it is of having single-story house was being constructed. Okay, as you can see here in the diagram, this is kind of Haveli in which Nikita's mother used to live. They used building materials like limestone, wood, stone chips and mud bricks. So in order to construct these type of houses, what materials they are using? They are using limestone, wood, then stone chips and mud bricks. Most houses had rooms which are built around a central courtyard. There was a central courtyard which was also known as your angan. That space was left emptied because that was a place where children used to play, where the elder used to sit and chat, talk with one another, and women used to work in that place. So beside this angan, or all surrounding that angan, they used to make large number of rooms. Okay. So these kinds of houses had high ceiling and thick walls. So in these type of houses, these were having high ceiling. That means the roof was of a great height, as well as the walls of the rooms are very thick. why these walls are kept why these walls are made in this manner? Because this is going to keep the house cool enough during the summer season. So when it was summer, as you know, there is very hot environment in the surrounding atmosphere is very hot. So in order to prevent that hot summer, what they used to do, they used to make these houses in this manner, so that there will be high ceiling. Okay, the roof will be of very high ceiling and the walls were made very thick. Then people did not need the air condition or the coolers in the summer. So earlier people, they didn't use coolers or air condition that time as we need it today. So this is one kind of change. Then the kitchen was built at the distance from the other rooms to prevent the smoke from entering the room. So in order to prevent the smoke while the ladies or the women would cook the food, in order to prevent that smoke coming out of the kitchen, they used to build the kitchen at a distance away from those rooms, and even the bathrooms were built at a distance from the other rooms. Okay, so this is as the time has changed, what has changed now, that most of the people in the towns and cities are living in pakka houses. But now what, as the time passes, the people are now preferring to live in a pakka houses, and these houses are going to be built with which materials? They are using bricks, cement, tiles, marble, iron and glasses. Okay, so these materials are used in order to build the pakka houses. So as you can see here in the diagram, this is a pakka house. Next thing, what happens? One day Nikita's father took her to a construction site. Construction site means where there is a house or building is being constructed. So you can see here in the diagram, this is a site of construction. So here he explained to her how a pakka house is being constructed. So how the pakka houses is going to be constructed. So he told her that the walls are made up of bricks and plastered with a mixture of cement and water. So he told her that these pakka houses, the walls are being made with the help of bricks, as well as these are plastered with a mixture of cement and water. So there will be a coating of cement and water on this, okay, on those walls. The flooring is generally made up of marble and stone. So people generally use marble and stones in order to make the flooring of the houses. Then the bricks, steel rod and cements are also used for constructing the walls and roofs. So in order to construct the wall of the houses, of the pakka houses, and the roof of the houses, they are using bricks, steel rods and cements. The wood and the glasses are used for making the doors and windows. So in order to make the door and windows of the houses, they are using what? They are using wood and glass materials. So here the pakka houses are strong and permanent. So as compared to kacha houses, these pakka houses are very strong and permanent. They don't require repairment frequently. So here they do not need repair frequently. Next is pakka houses have all the modern facilities. So all these modern facilities are also available in the pakka houses. And what are those? Like the kitchen, the toilet and the bathrooms are inside the houses. So you might have observed, student, that houses in which you live nowadays is that there will be attached washroom. Okay, kitchen is also there inside the house only, but in earlier days the kitchen as well as the bathroom were kept at a distance away from the room. So these are the modern facilities, and you can see the pipes are also put in the kitchen and the toilet to take away the waste. That means there are proper drainage system in nowadays. Okay. So these houses are properly ventilated with a number of doors and windows. There are large number of doors and windows so that there will be proper ventilation. That means there should be a fresh supply of the air inside, the entry of the air as well as sunlight should enter. So that means a proper ventilation facility is there, because nowadays people are using placing more number of doors and windows in their houses. So these houses are more expensive because the material used is very costly. So that is why these houses are more expensive as compared to the pakka houses. Let's move on to the next part, that is nowadays there is a shortage of land in the city. So as you know, the population is increasing. Because of that, the land area is everybody requires shelter to live. So that is the reason why, because of increasing population, it has nowadays there is a shortage of land in the city and the town area. So because of this shortage of the space, it has led to the construction of the multi-storied building. But nowadays you can see large number of multi-storied building being constructed. So here These buildings are very tall and have many floors. So as you can see here, this is a multi-story building. So it has large number of floors, and on each floor there are large number of flats or apartments. So here each floor has many houses. Those houses are called as flats or apartments. So that in a small space, large people can be accommodated or can be living in this single multi-story building. So that is the reason, because of lack of space or shortage of the space, people are generally preferring or constructing the multi-story building. The next example or type of houses is your bungalows. So here bungalows have many rooms. They also have a lawn or a garage. So here, as you can see, this diagram is a bungalow. It is a single story, okay, and it has large number of rooms as well as it has lawn. That means a garden area surrounding it, as well as a garage where you can park your vehicles. So some big bungalows have swimming pool as well. So these bungalows, some of them are also having swimming pool. So these are the various type of houses which we have discussed. Let's move on to the next part. So there are large number of people who are involved student in constructing of a house. Okay, we have to discuss about those person and the work they are doing. So let's begin. So Nikita's father told her that many people are involved in the construction of the houses. So we have to understand. The first one is an architect. Architect is a person who is going to make the plan of a house. So you might, before a house is being constructed, every room, that is your drawing room, your living room, your kitchen, your bathroom, your bedroom, every room has to be planned, okay, where you have to build that particular room. So in that case, a design is required, a plan is required. So that plan is being made by an architect. The next person here is a mason. A mason is going to lay the bricks and the plasters the walls. So he is the one who is laying the bricks and plastering those walls with cement water mixture. Next is a carpenter. A carpenter makes the door and the windows. A carpenter is a person who is going to make the doors and the windows. The next is your plumber. So plumber is the one who is going to fit the pipeline. Water supply is also required. So in that case, the plumber is going to fit the water pipes and different taps. The next one is your electrician. So electrician is the person who is going to fit the wires and the plugs. So electricity supply is being applied by an electrician. The next person here is your painter. So painter, what is the work of a painter? Is going to paint the house. And the last one, if we discuss about, is an engineer. So engineer supervisor is the one who is going to supervise the whole construction of the houses. Okay. Now let's move on to the last part here. One day, Nikita's father took her to a place where people lived in a small dirty house made of stone and wood. So they moved to these type of houses which were built with stone and mud. So these houses stood close to one another and had roof made of iron and tin sheet. So these houses were very close to one another, and these house roof were made with iron and tin sheets. So here Nikita also noted that there was no proper arrangement of drinking water, electricity and drainage in that area. So these facilities were not available. Like there was poor arrangement of drinking water, then electricity supply was not there, and lastly there was no proper drainage system in that area. So her father told her that the place was a slum area. So these types of houses are found in the slum area. So he also told her that the living condition in the slum was very bad because the proper facility was not available. Because of this, the living condition were bad in that area. So Nikita was sad to know that some people had to live in such harsh conditions. So by knowing about the slum areas and the people living in those harsh conditions, Nikita was very sad. She felt sad when her father told her that the slums were growing day by day. But with the time of passage, the area of the slum area are being increased day by day. She was a bit relieved to hear that government was trying hard to improve the living condition of the slum dwellers. So these slum dwellers, what are slum dwellers? Those people who used to live in slum areas. So in that case, Nikita was very relieved that government is nowadays trying in order to reduce those people who are living in the slum area by providing them certain low cost homes. These are government is providing them low cost home, and Nikita hoped that the people in the area would soon get a proper houses to live in. So she is hoping that now these people are going to get proper houses to live, and she believed that every person has the right to have a decent living. By this we are completing this chapter. Let's move on to the exercise part. So here first multiple choice question. Most of the Pakka houses are found in. So Pakka houses are found in what? Cities, jungles or villages. So they are found in the cities. The next is high ceiling and thick walls keep the house hot, warm or cool. So these houses are having high ceiling and thick wall because they keep the house cool in the summer season. Next is your fill in the blanks. First is a dash fit the water pipes and taps during the construction of the house. So which person is responsible for that? A plumber. Next is a kacha house need dash from time to time. So a kacha house need repairment time to time. Next is the dash is providing low cost homes to the slum dwellers. So the government is providing the low cost home to the slum dwellers, those people who live in the slum area. The next one is you have to choose the odd one out. So here first one, architect, doctor, painter and mason. So as you know, except doctor, all three are involved in the construction of houses. So odd one out is your doctor. Next is your straw, mud, cement and cow dung. So here except the cement, rest three things are being materials which are being used to construct the kacha house. The next is your steel, bricks, cement and street. So here the cement, bricks and steel are going to use for the construction of the Pakka houses. So street is the odd one out. You have to circle the street one. The next is the pictures are being depicted here. You have to write down the name of them. So first of all you can see it is a kacha house. The next one you can see is a haveli. The third one is a multi-storied building and the last one is a bungalow. Moving on to the section B of the exercise. So here first multiple choice question, that is the shortage of space have led to the construction of what? Because of there is a shortage of space, it has led to the construction of a bungalow, multi-storied building or a haveli. So as we have discussed in the slide, the answer is multi-storied building. And the last one here, he supervises the construction of a house. So which person is going to supervise the construction of the house? Architect, engineer or an electrician. So the right answer is B option, that is engineer. Next is your very short question answer. So first of all, in which kind of house did Nikita's grandmother used to live? So Nikita's grandmother used to live in a village and there you can find the kacha houses. Next is what are the houses in a multi-story building called? So in a multi-story building there are large number of floors and on each floor there are large number of houses. Those are called as flats or apartments. Next is your short answer type of question. First of all, why are multi-story building being constructed in large numbers? So why these buildings are being constructed? Because there is a shortage of land and space, it has led to the construction of multi-story building. These buildings are very tall and have many floors with many houses on each floor. Because of that, they are very tall and on each floor there are a large number of houses which are called as flats or apartments. The next is what are slums and why it is difficult to live in a slum. So first of all, the place where poor people lives in a small dirty houses made up of stone and mud having the roof which is made up of iron and tin sheet are called as slum. So these poor people live in this type of small dirty houses whose roof are made up of tin or iron sheets. And why it is difficult to live in a slum area? Because there is no proper arrangement for drinking water, electricity and a drainage system. So these houses are lacking these facilities. Last one is your long question answers. First of all, you have to name 6 persons who are involved in constructing or making a house and what kind of work does each do. So first of all, an architect. So an architect, what is the work of an architect? He is going to make a plan for a house. Next mason. A mason is going to lay the bricks and plasters the wall. The third one is a carpenter. Carpenter makes the doors and the windows of the houses. Next one is a plumber. So plumber fits the water pipes and taps. Next is an electrician. So electrician is going to fit the wires and plugs. The last one is your engineer. He is going to supervise the construction of the whole houses. So remember these 6 persons and the work which are performed by them. And the last question here, you have to write 3 differences between the kacha house and a pakka house. So first of all, we have to discuss the kacha houses are built with what materials? They are made up of mud, bamboo and straw. Whereas the pakka houses, these houses are made with bricks, cements and steel. The next difference is these houses are not very strong and these pakka houses are very strong. Next is the kacha houses need repair from time to time because they are not very strong. They require repairment from time to time. Whereas pakka houses, they don't need repairment frequently. And the last difference here is kacha houses are temporary and the pakka houses are permanent. Okay. So by this we are completing this chapter. Hope to see you in my next video. Till then, take care. Thank you.